If you're on the phone, can you unmute yourself? All right, the next number is 840340. Okay, let's try 9028196. Whose number is 545 9686.
Mary Felton.
Okay, Ms. Felton, all right, I know who you are. Got you. I still have 4 other individuals on the phone that are muted, so hopefully they'll unmute before the meeting ends.
Okay.
Mr. Lockett, how you doing? Can you unmute yourself?
I don't want to.
Yes, absolutely. How you doing,
How
Counselor?
you doing? Give me 1 second. I gotta take this call.
Number here. Right
Michael.
there. No.
Okay, thank you, sir. That was Michael. He is letting us know that we're live. So, let's get this meeting started. Okay, we have one more caller coming in. Last 4 numbers are 4893. That's I know who that is.
That's Mr. Stone, General Services.
Right. I'm gonna try
Yeah.
one more time.
Okay. Oh, let me.
Nick, hey Mary, how you doing? Mary?
Yes.
Okay, not Mary Felton, not Mary Williams, precinct woman, Mary Williams. Yeah, there we go. Can you unmute? Precinct woman, Ms. Felton, you're still there. You're good to go.
I am mute. I'm here.
Okay, you're unmuted. Thanks, Mary.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Cedric
Nick.
for redevelopment is on the call.
Nick, can you unmute yourself? Al Lockett, can you unmute yourself as well? Thank you,
Sure.
sir.
I was talking and then I mute.
Okay. All right. I have a young lady, 0788. That's the last 4 of your phone number.
Yes, here.
That a wet.
Yes.
And Jayla.
Yes,
Okay. What's your name, young lady?
Jayla.
Jayla?
Yes.
Okay. Glad to have you here tonight, Jayla.
Yes, it's that to West. Same
it's
number.
West. Okay.
5492 Edna Laurent.
Okay. Oh, hey, Edna, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. Definitely good to hear from you.
Okay.
All right. Okay, tonight's meeting, we are coming to spring. We are still in COVID, but and we have the site at Roosevelt High School. We're hoping that the individuals are making a decision on whether to take the vaccination or not. You do know that we are trying to get the city to herd immunity, and I do believe that the governor has removed mask regulations, but I believe the city is still under mask regulations. So I will let you know that. Let's see. How we doing? Can you unmute yourself? Hey.
Kind of way we can. We have some new equipment that just came in. And we're waiting. Okay. Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. And we're waiting for some other things to be purchased. One of the biggest problems that we're having in our department is not getting up to debris, ma'am. We're getting up to debris. I stay in Glen Park. I own 2 homes in Gary, so I think like a homeowner and someone who wants their city clean. The biggest problem that we're having today in Gary is it never stays clean.
Never.
Everything that we have cleaned up over years and years has been repeats. We're constantly going back to the same dump sites. I was talking to someone earlier today, and I told them to just imagine if 30 or 40% of the sites, as far as the alleys and the debris sites that we have cleaned up over the years, have stayed clean. So we're having a big problem with that. It seems like certain individuals or their normal is just a nasty city. So our department is here to serve you guys, to do everything we can to take care of your service requests. We're having a problem with tires now. Again, ma'am, everybody, we're finding them and they're popping up everywhere again. I don't know whether it's illegitimate tire places that we have here that's not disposing of their tires legally, and they're putting them in places. And Gary's a big city, and we have a lot of hiding places now. You know, we've went from 200, maybe 80,000 individuals that used to live here. I grew up here as a kid, to maybe 75,000 people in Gary. So there's a lot of hiding places here to where certain people are bringing items and dumping items in Gary that need to have consequences on them. And I'll take any questions.
I've got a question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Williams, I saw Mary first. Mary, go ahead.
I have a question. Will your department pick up the tires if we identify where they're at eventually, or what?
We have a tire box at our yard right in front of the garage, ma'am. We've been picking them up, truckloads. And yeah, if you guys identify some spots that I haven't seen yet, we'll gladly and come and remove them.
Oh, wonderful. 36 in Jefferson in the alley.
Councilman Williams, could you, if you have a pen, if you hold down, ma'am, I would have to get a pen.
I'm writing them down.
You got a pen with you, Councilman Williams?
Yes, sir. I'm writing them down as we speak.
Okay, and then I'll be able to get all your information from Councilman Williams, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Okay. I have a question. This is Ms. West.
Okay. Ms. West?
This is Ms. West, yes. Now, I don't have a barrage of tires, but there is a landfill of other garbage in the alley behind where I live, which is 44th and Jefferson. I mean, it's just turned into a dump site.
Yeah, I understand, ma'am. Have you tried, and I need to bring up the 311 system too, ma'am. There's a service request system that I work off of too. If you haven't used it, the number is 8811-311.
Yes, sir, I've used it. I
You've
put the
used that?
in the 311.
Okay, and you've got your confirmation number. So Councilman Williams will be writing down your request too, ma'am. And you guys, I beg of you to please be patient. There's 25 of us, and we're covering potholes, and we have a ground team out, and we'll be a little bit more fitted for the summer too. We got summer workers coming in, at least 8 of them. That's going to be, that's going to be added to our team over the summer. So Councilman Williams will write your request down, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, you mentioned potholes. Again, I'm at 44th and Jefferson Street, and every year the potholes, I can't say have been filled. However, it's been over 20-something years now that the street, I think, has gone beyond pothole filling. So now, when are we going to get our streets paved around here?
All right, great question.
That's not my department. I think that's another, that's not my department, ma'am. We do cold mix and hot mix, which is go ahead, Councilman Williams.
We can discuss that as soon as we're done with the potholes and the trash.
Okay, thank you.
But I still have a concern for the general service, because I have a concern at 37, between 37, to 4749 on Madison is dumping mattress, everything is out there.
Is that
And
Miss
311 has been, I believe, contacted several times.
Etna?
Yes.
Okay, give me the address again.
Okay, that's 4737 through 4749 in Madison.
You said through 47?
Yeah, but I'm talking about the alley. The alley from 47th. The one address I know for sure is 4737, and I believe there's about one or two doors. So that's the reason why I said 4749.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to
Okay.
get potholes on 35th Avenue. They fill them real. I'm really proud of them. They do fill them, but they do come back every year.
We're gonna discuss streets after this. Who's next?
Mary Felton.
Councilman Williams.
Okay, Mary Felton?
Yes, what I wanted to ask, I would just go ahead and put a list together of what's going on in my precinct and drop it off, and I would like to know where to bring it to, what department. I know it's general service, but who would I ask for?
You know what, Mary, I would ask you to, if you can make two lists, drop one off at City Hall at the council chamber so I can have it in my mailbox, and then take the other to general
Okay.
service.
So you want one to be dropped off at City Hall and the other one where at
General
general
service.
service? Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, the Hamlins have a question as well. We're right on 47th Avenue, right on the corner of Monroe and 47th. And on Monroe, we really need those potholes filled in. We do notice that when we send it through 311 and ask about the 47th Avenue potholes, they'll come out, but we put in also the Monroe. But they'll come out and they say, well, we don't have enough filler to fill in Monroe. So they just do the 47th Avenue. So is there any way you could provide these young men with enough equipment in order for them to do the job correctly?
Mrs. Stone?
Ma'am, well, we get mixed. We have no problem with getting mixed. I will address that to the guys that's doing potholes, because what we do is try to take care of our mains, our secondaries, and then our side streets. We try to take care of the roads that are traveled a lot, the burr and things like that. And the mix is a temporary fix, ma'am. The cold mix works good. The hot mix stays longer. A real solution is when we get our streets dug up and redone.
Yeah.
Well, 47th Avenue is a main strip. As a matter of fact, we have all the ambulance. We have police flying from the east to the west to get over.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
for them hitting those potholes like that, hey, it's enough money that we're spending now to try to get the police cars fixed up. So maybe we can do a little bit better job on the road on 47th Avenue to help them out a little bit.
Well, we take care of 47th Avenue running from Harrison, because that's our boundary, from Harrison all the way down.
So you take it from Broadway to Harrison?
No, ma'am. No, what he's saying is.
No, we go ahead, Councilman.
What he is saying, we're trying to tell you is that from Cleveland on 47th Avenue, from Cleveland to Harrison Street is county road. So county takes care of that road, even Harrison. Okay. From Harrison to Broadway and from Broadway to Georgia, that's the city's responsibility.
That's what I'm talking about. We live on the corner of 47th and Monroe. So
yes, ma'am, I know where you live at.
Right there. So we would like to have the street fixed and let them do it properly. When they come, they toss it in, they never mash it in, then you have the cars come and they kicks it right out the hole. And I have gone out and spoken to the young men. One was pretty arrogant. He was young. He was pretty arrogant. He didn't like it. When we're asking him questions, why can't they compact it down? He didn't like that question. But the older gentleman that was with him, he was very respectful. So if you could just talk to them, have them do the job right, that's all. So that it can stay in the hole.
Well, ma'am, what I will do is address the issue with my, because we're running 2 pothole teams, and I'll address that issue with the guys to make sure that they're doing the job the way they're supposed to be doing, okay?
You know, and I want to ask you too, since you're general services, do you all take care of the alleys and grading the alleys as well?
No, ma'am, that's not my department.
Oh, okay.
What
Whose
department is that?
What department is it?
Yes.
We don't grade the alleys. Some of our alleys are concrete, some of them are dirt, some of them are rock. As far as potholes that's in the alleys that can be filled, that will stay, we take care of the potholes, but most of the alleys have sinkholes now. And sinkholes are Gary's sanitation department.
Okay. If it's a sinkhole, I'll call Gary Sanitary. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, could I get in on this conversation?
Is that Mr. Lockett?
Yes, I just want to say, first of all, thank you guys for your services to the city. As a young homeowner, I've been 20 years, I've been fighting and I've been paying $300-400 a year, keeping my alley clean. I am getting ready to be a grandfather. I am slowing down. I'm in my mid-40s now. I can't do it anymore, and I won't do it anymore. I refuse to do it. I thank you, Councilman Williams, for what you did these last 2 days. We actually caught someone dumping in my alley. So, but I put in several requests to have my alley cleaned through 311 potholes, and I still got cases open from 2018.
Yeah.
Though the system really works.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does
And
not.
when I call and give my case number, I get someone that gets smart with me. Now I'm a taxpayer, and I feel I deserve a proper response when I'm inquiring about my property and my surrounding area.
True.
Okay.
So I'm asking if you could come around. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Oh, so I'm asking if you could come down and tidy our alley up. Once a year isn't enough. Once someone start dumping, it's repetitive. In the alleys, we have no lights. So at nighttime, when I wake up in the morning, it's always something new. You know, I've been trying to get lights for about 10 years down my alley. I pay for a light. I pay like $20 a month for a light around my house. And I feel I shouldn't have to pay for that, but it is what it is. So I'm just asking for a little help.
I understand, Mr. Lockett.
Go
so
ahead.
are you saying your alley needs to just be cleaned? Because I know you and I spoke today. Princeton. Okay,
yes.
Mr. The code enforcement officer that you spoke to, he's going to join us, but it's going to be a little bit later. He had to take care of some other matters first, but he is going to come over there and cite that individual that we spoke of, and hopefully he'll be joining us pretty soon.
Okay, and I definitely appreciate that. And if I can't stay on, I have to attend a mandatory business meeting with my boss, but I'm actually going to stay on because this is more important to me, getting my area taken care of. Potholes, speeding up and down the block. We got these landlords that's renting out these homes to these people that can care less. We got abandoned buildings. I got a little 13-year-old daughter that likes to go out and play, and I refuse to actually let her go out and play. And I shouldn't have to isolate my daughter, but in fear of someone snatching my daughter up in an abandoned home. And you know, it's just it needs to be taken care of a lot better than what it's been. No police presence. I haven't seen a police officer not 2 times down my alleys, down my streets, in my neighborhood all summer. They speed, they do like 70, 80 miles an hour. It's becoming a little bit too much for me. I got cameras all around my house, but that doesn't help. They don't care.
James Bowden at 711 West 52nd Place. We got potholes in the street, and they're not being filled. the bus stopped right here on the corner, which is so raggedy, they done broke all the glass out of it. It make the whole neighborhood look bad. And the bus, when I come home, I have to wait until they unblock my driveway. That shouldn't be. They block my driveway and mailbox. And I seen a sweeper going down the street, but he didn't sweep anything. He just went up to Harrison and turned and head up. So he didn't even sweep the street. So I wonder what, was he just joyriding or what? And down on 53rd and Madison, that street is caving in. It's done dropped at least about 2 feet. And it's been like that since last year.
Right. And I live across the street from Mr. Bowden. This is Lauren Hamer. And I agree with him totally with regard to the number of potholes that our street has experienced between Harrison and Madison on 52nd Place.
53rd Avenue.
In addition, on Van Buren, between 52nd Place and 53rd, and then rounding the corner onto 53rd Avenue between Van Buren to Madison, there are potholes galore. And the young man who helps me with lawn care told me today that his neighbor that lives across the street from him on 53rd Avenue works for the city. And I was like, so he doesn't have any, clout to get your potholes done? And as Mr. Bowden said, at 53rd Avenue and Madison, the street is about to cave in totally.
We get someone to take a look at that and then get that back to me, because if that's the case, then I need to get sanitation over there and take a look at the
And
street.
I believe that part of our pothole issue, it can be contributed not only to the city bus that travels down our street on 52nd Place between Harrison and Madison, but it's also due to when we had the snow and the snowplow had the shovel down a lot of times and was shoveling concrete rather than snow. So,
Ma'am, can I get your name again?
Lauren Hamer.
Spell your last name for me.
H is in Henry, A, M is in Michael, E like in Edward, R like in Robert. Hello, I text you all the time.
Oh, Ms. Hammer. Okay, I can't see you. Where you at?
I'm right here.
Okay, I see you now. All right. Here's the situation on that. I went on 52nd yesterday and talked to Mr. Smith about the work that's been done over there for the sewer. That street will be relayed, but the thing is, I got to catch up with sanitation and get them over there so I can point out the curb issues, so we can try to get some curbage over there as well when they do decide to lay the street.
What street is to be repaid?
Delaware, where the sewer line work is this?
We're on West 52nd Place.
52nd and 53rd.
We're West
Okay.
52nd Place and
53rd Avenue.
52nd Place to 53rd and Van Buren.
Okay.
And 53rd Avenue is just.
And 53rd Avenue from Van Buren to Madison.
Those streets need to be repaved. Potholing isn't gonna do any good.
Okay. Ms. Hammer, can I call you after? Where'd you go? Oh, you switched. Okay. Ms. Hammer, can I call you after the meeting so we can pick a time? Hopefully this weekend I can come by and take some photos.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Because I know Mrs. Hadley has been, Cheryl Hadley, she's on. And I know she's been vigilant in terms of not only the sewer, but an abandoned house across the street from her, as well as street paving. Cheryl Hadley, James and Janice Bowden, and I are all neighbors.
Okay.
Councilman,
All right, who's speaking now?
Mary Williams.
Okay, Ms. Williams.
Um, can I ask you a question about something else other than potholes right now?
If you can wait so we can stay on topic, because I don't want to have these notes all mixed up. Just
Okay.
give me a second. I can tell you this much, Mary. Well, everyone on the Zoom tonight, I did do a little homework as far as the amount of homes in your precincts that need to be demoed. So I will share the information with you by precinct. Mary, you have a total of 48 homes in your precinct that needs
You're talking
demolition.
about Mary Williams or Mary?
Mary
Shelton?
Williams.
Okay,
Mary
how
Williams.
many?
48.
48.
Yes. Mary
Okay.
Felton. Mary Felton.
Yes.
You have a total
Yes.
of 91.
No, it couldn't be. That's all the
what-
homes I have.
Your precinct is large, is large, Mary. You have a total of 91. You said that's all the homes you have, huh?
Yes.
I was gonna say that's the whole neighborhood.
Including mine.
Councilman Williams, what about my area?
Hey, who am I speaking? Mr. Lockett?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Lockett, there is a total, and there's some missing from your neighborhood. A lot. 14. That's what's been identified, but you got to keep in mind when they identify these homes for demolition, it's because the city has taken over the property. So a lot of these homes are still under the original property owners. So we have to contact them in order to add that property to the list for demolition.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Please say your names first before you start up a question. Go ahead.
Say that again.
I need your name before you ask the question.
Al, this Lockett. Al Lockett.
Okay, Mr. Lockett.
Okay. So what if you demo the homes and we would like to buy that property? Or if the city could donate that property, and we keep it up, is that feasible?
We're moving ahead of what I was going to tell you, but I can tell you this now. Yes, it is feasible. Everyone here, I'm going to give you my email. All right. I'll give you my city email and my personal email. If you can email me, all right, and just say I'm interested in putting the subject line, side lot program. I will send you, I've scanned information. I will send information to you so you can acquire that property. And also I will send you the program that we have for fix one, get two. So you'll be well versed on what you can do with that property.
So it's side lock program?
Side lot program.
That's the name of it? Okay.
Councilman Williams.
Name?
Herbert Osborne.
Thank you, Mr. Osborne.
I was the second person that asked to speak, and it appears that, but anyway, this is to Mr. Stone. He was talking about the continuing problem with the dumping, and it's been happening for years. It's pretty apparent the city is not good problem solvers because there's a solution to every problem. There's no way that this should continue year after year after year without solving some of the problems. And one solution to it is to put up cameras. I mean, I've been hammering this for months, and I don't know what the city is doing about putting up cameras, but that would solve some of the problems, make the people that's dumping pay for their dumping.
Well, Mr. Osborne, I agree with you. I think we need to put more teeth into our ordinance for dumping. I think people should be fined very heavily. I don't care if it's just a soda can you drop. I think you should be fined very heavily so that you don't drop that can again.
Let me just throw this in. I caught a dumper at 40th Avenue off of Georgia Street. Took his license plate number down, followed him to Maryville, gave the 311 operator all of that information. I called a week afterwards, they had no information. They didn't have a case number, they had nothing. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense for us to try to do stuff to stop these dumpers and the city don't follow through on
it. Well, here's my suggestion on that one, okay? Well, Chief, Police, Chief Evans, are you still on the call? Chief Evans?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, sir. Did you just hear what Mr. Osborne said as far as him turning in the plate information and nothing happened?
He said to 311.
Yeah.
311 is not a police service. That's managed by the city. And it works a lot differently than 911. I would like to reiterate to everyone here that when you're calling for the police, please call our Lake County Dispatch Center at 660-0000. The police department and the fire department are the only departments within the city that are 24 hours. Leaving us a 311 just delays you getting help. When we have officers that are out and they can have a path to get to the call. If not, the dispatch center call log is something that we can access. We cannot access the 311 as readily as we can 911. So I just want to say that, but 311 is not a service that is managed by the police department. Even though we have a tab in 311s, I personally would prefer that you call dispatch or our front desk, because like the fire department, we're a 24-hour service and we can handle our calls without going through extra layers such as that. Also, we can better track it when you call us directly and we're able to put it in our system. Another thing I would like to say about that is understand that the dispatch center by law is no longer managed, ran, or operated by the Gary Police Department or any city department. They are all Lake County dispatchers. Some of them are not familiar with the city. Most of them are not. So you have to be patient and answer all of their questions because they're not familiar with what you're talking about. And even if they are, they have a script they have to follow. Sometimes we come out immediately if we don't have calls, and sometimes we do. We've caught several dumpers. We've taken several dumpers to court. We just caught a dumpster just the other day and towed his truck. You cannot make an arrest for dumping unless it's hazardous material, which is some type of poisonous liquid, asbestos, or hazardous material that we can take. Other than that, it's just a ticket and possibly a tow. But I do appreciate the gentleman's argument that cameras would help solve the problem. He's absolutely right about that. A camera system within the system that is managed by the system, as you and I talked about, Councilman, would greatly help with not only dumping, but crime overall. Is a system that we can build out. But that's something that the city would have to invest in and try to build out over a number of years.
You know, Chief, I think maybe what I'm about to say is awfully small of me, but I think what I'll do in the future is see these things and then not see it. Because I've taken a lot of effort to try to report these dumpers, and it's not doing any good. It's not doing any good at all. And the only thing it does is aggravates me. I mean, when I can turn it in, and I don't know who the 311 turns the information over to, but when I call back a week later, they don't even have a call in their system. It's ridiculous.
It is.
It is.
May
Yes.
I ask, I'm sorry, may I ask for a repeat of the number that the chief stated? And
Yes.
let me also appeal to Mr. Osborne. Don't give up. If we give up, we have no dog in the fight. So
That is
try to
true.
hang in there.
You don't
and
have
do
a
what
dog
you've
in the
been
fight
doing.
as it is.
He's correct. I mean, why even constantly report it if nothing's ever being done about it? Just like I've called about this property across the street from my house at 5249 Van Buren Street. This property is unkempt, it's an eyesore, and is making our property, is depreciating the value of our property. Why isn't that homeowner responsible to keep his property up when all of us around here take care of our property?
Is that a rental
Except for
property?
this one. No, it's the homeowner. No one's in there. No one's been in there for 5 years. I had to call a couple years ago because there were squatters in there.
You know, that's an endangerment to us here. We don't know who these squatters are.
Do you know who resided there prior to this vacancy?
No, but I can get you the homeowner's name and I will email it to you.
Okay.
What was
Councilman
that phone number? The chief gave the phone number again.
Yeah, the chief gave the phone number for, you know, dumping incidents, and I only got 660. I'm sorry.
Okay, let me give it again. And again, 311 is not managed by the police department. And again, I would prefer that you call our Lake County Dispatch. Like I said, the police department and the fire department are 24 hours, 7 days a week services. Therefore, calling dispatch will give you a better response if we're not tied up on hot calls or action calls. The number for Lake County Dispatch is 660-0000. Of course, that's 219. 219-660-0000.
Thank you.
Along with that, let me say this. We all know that the problem of abandonment and blight in the city has not started overnight. I'm not making an excuse, but we need to be realistic about this.
Yeah.
There are thousands upon thousands of abandoned property within the city limits. There are 35 abandoned schools in this city.
Yes.
And they are all dangerous areas for squatters, nexuses for drugs, blight, and continuings for people to dump in. No one is denying that. And what I want everybody to understand and maybe help with, it is beyond the capacity of a ticket from code enforcement to the homeowner who may or may not still own a home or who may not even live here to deal with. The city has been working on a plan to tear homes down after they acquire them. However, and this is a federal law, any structure built before 1981 is assumed to have asbestos in it and must be abated. Almost every structure within the city of Gary, which is 103 years old, is older than 1981. So the city has torn down hundreds of homes every year, but the problem is a little bit bigger than that. And I don't have an answer to help with the blight problem and how we address this, but there are thousands of abandoned structures all over this city. And it's to the point where I can't even allow our officers to go in some of them for fear of them getting hurt or worse. We have to try to deal with the problem, especially the schools. We have to wait for those individuals to come out because they're very, very dangerous. I had an officer get very injured in an abandoned school last year. He was off work for several months. I had a K9 we almost had to put down after going in an abandoned school. So we have an issue here that's a little bit larger than the way we're dealing with it. And I know the city as a whole is trying to work on the unsafe buildings and acquiring a property and tearing them down. But tearing down a property, even an abandoned one that's on a slab, takes money and it takes financing because you must abate the asbestos. You must take it to a landfill that can handle it, and you have to pay to have it torn down. Again, not an excuse, but just a reality of what we're dealing with. It's a huge problem, and it has been for several years. This was once a city of almost 200,000, and we're hitting 70,000 now. When I started in the police department, we had 135,000 people living here just 27 years ago. Now we're down to 60, 70,000. Well, that property that people left is still here. And we're a city that's 54 square miles. Dayton, Ohio has 178,000 residents, and it's 52 square miles. It's the same size as the city of Gary. It has 300 police officers. It has 100 people working in general services. It has 24 animal control officers. They have more resources because they have a larger tax base. So we all have to work together. I know it's very frustrating when you have a property and the property next door to you is blighted. You get tired of hearing the excuses, but it's a reality of what the councilman and the city is dealing with.
Thank you.
To add to that,
Councilman Williams.
I'm sorry.
I have a question for Chief Evans.
Okay, there was a caller that had a letter first, but go ahead. And I just left your neighborhood coming to the meeting. So I have some news for you too.
Okay, great. Chief Evans, my question is to you. This is Mrs. Blair. I'm at 51st and Madison Street in Gary. I really appreciate your explanation in terms of the process with the abandoned buildings. However, we also have a very bad dumping issue on the 52nd Avenue between Broadway and Madison Street. Now, I am very patient. I am so patient that I have waited consistently 47 years for that area to be cleaned up. And in doing so, being patient, my husband and I, and Mr. Osborne, that is on this call as well, which is the vice president of the 51st Avenue Block Club, Community Block Club. We formed a block club to be able to come together to try and do something on that strip to keep it clean. We are not having very good success in terms of the dumping. As far as the cleanliness, as far as keeping the cans and the bottles and the small debris picked up, we do that as a community block club. That's the effort that we're putting in. But we also need the effort of the chief department by at least pushing forward to make sure that we can start getting cameras in these areas where they are dumping, because we are putting in a forth effort in our community. So I don't want you to think that we're not doing anything in our community in reference to the dumping issue. We're doing our part, and we're just asking the city and the police department to please come together and come up with a solution where we can get some cameras at these dump site areas where they're just totally dumping debris every day. We caught 2 people yesterday, but my concern is, you said, call the Lake County dispatch number. Well, if you're saying that there's nothing that you can do in terms of the dumpers, then where do we go from there? Who do we call from that point?
I think maybe I wasn't clear with what I was saying, and I do appreciate your point. And I do know that the citizens of Gary work very hard to maintain their property and the properties adjacent to them, and that many times people from outside of the community and some of our new residents that were not originally from this state, I would just say that,
yes,
don't take the same level of concern about their community. I'm not saying that dispatch will not come out. What I'm saying is that 311 is not a system that we manage.
Right,
Dispatch is something that dispatches the police. 311 does not. If you put something in 311 today, someone in my department has to go in there tomorrow or the weekend on a Monday to find out about it. When you call 660-0000, you're talking to a live person, and they will let you know if they have an officer or officers available to come out based upon the calls for service that we have going on at the time. And if they don't, it's logged in a system that we can readily access immediately. I can look in dispatch and look at every call. I can access dispatch from my phone and look at any address. I cannot do the same thing with 311. So I just want to clarify that point. Thank you for saying. And as well as coming together with the cameras, I wholeheartedly agree with you that a camera system in the city, a citywide effort to put camera pods in areas to deal with not only dumping and crime will be very, very effective. We just need the financing to do it and the ability to put them up and manage it. I completely agree with you. So I'm very sorry if I came off as saying I don't believe that you're helping. I know you are, and I see it all the time. And if we didn't have people calling us, we wouldn't catch the dumpers that we caught. You know, nobody dumps when they see a squad car, and I don't care what anybody says. Dumping takes 35 to 40 seconds. I can empty the bed of a truck in less than a minute. I don't care what's on it. And it doesn't take very long to do it. And oftentimes when we catch people, it is only because citizens have called us, given us video or given us pictures, or even come out and have been brave enough to say, I saw them dumping, which is something that everybody's not willing to do for obvious reasons. So I do appreciate that, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. And anything that we get on the police department to use to combat this will have to come from the city to give us the funding to be able to get it. You know, I have an idea. I just need the cash.
Okay.
Anyone else? Ms. Blair, were you done? I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off.
Yes, I'm done for right now. I'm done. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Blair, I just left your area on 52nd Avenue.
Okay.
I looked at the dumping. Stone, are you still on the
Yeah.
call? Stone,
Yeah,
can
I'm right
you
here listening.
can you get a crew over there? There are several televisions over there off the side of the road, and a lot of
You're
trash.
talking about 52nd Avenue, running from the used car lot to Madison again?
Yes.
Is that the area? Yeah,
Yes.
I know you know we've been over there 3 or 4 times before. It's a repeat spot. It's a really dumping site by that white garage in that alley. I think that alley is maybe that's still, let me see, Washington
And Adams Street. Yes.
Yeah. We've even put concrete blocks, I think, to block off the dead end of Washington Street, right? We have
Yes.
concrete blocks. So it's a repeat. We go there, but I'll get the list from you, Councilman Williams, and then I'll address this with my supervisor. And when she gives me the go-ahead, and you guys be patient because with me and my crew, we're thin, but I'll be addressing every concern that I'll get from Councilman Williams. Just be patient, and we're going to take care of your request.
Hey, one other,
Williams.
one other thing.
Ms. Blair?
Yes.
I did just also today, I did talk to Vanessa, and I did talk to Attorney Rodney Pohl, and he's spoken with Eric Reeves of the Park Department. Two things that are about to take place in your neighborhood. We did put up those signs on Junedale saying no parking, so that situation seems to be working fairly well. I did see some individuals out there today on dirt bikes, so I did call the attorney, and he spoke with Eric. Tomorrow, there should be signs on that park saying no trespassing, because that park is solely open because it's a historical park. Is Miss Brown still on the call? Patricia Brown? Well, that park is where the Junedale Park, of course, you guys probably know about the World Series.
Just unmuted.
Ms. Brown, can you hear me? So we're gonna put signs up there stating no trespassing on that park. The park's purpose will solely be used only for the baseball practice of the Little League. Vanessa is in the process of getting some signs on 52nd to clearly state no dumping. And Stone, you said you are going to attend to the trash that's been left there?
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Are you aware that there are currently signs there that says no dumping?
Yeah, but we need to put some more up there, I guess, until we can get some cameras. That's the whole thing about it. I did talk to the mayor about this plan for the use of the COVID relief money, and he did say new streets and cameras. So he is aware of the city's need for better infrastructure, as well as cameras to help us to curb and stop the dumping.
Okay.
Councilman Williams, one quick point. There's an alley off of Broadway behind like the bank, that alley from 51st Avenue to 52nd Avenue behind the bank and the liquor store. When you get an opportunity, look at that, because you wouldn't believe what's back there. I mean, it's ridiculous. And that liquor store is a big problem, because they drink there and then they throw all the balls and stuff in the alley.
Councilman Williams, can you hear me?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Cedric from Redevelopment.
Hey, Cedric.
Hey, I heard the address called 5249 Van Buren. I'll swing by there in the morning. I was kind of familiar with that address maybe a few years ago, that complaints came in about it, that it was squatters in there. And I believe we sent the border crew out there But I'll swing by tomorrow and check into that building and pull up all of the information, see how much property taxes is owed on it. But if it's not a burnout or anything like that, then you know it has to go through the lengthy process of us ordering title searches and bringing that homeowner into an unsafe building here and to see what their intentions are with the property. So I'll look into it tomorrow.
Thank you, Cedric, because I was looking on my system trying to figure out the homeowner. So I can announce
Yeah, I'll
it
figure
there.
I'll figure it out tomorrow.
Thank you.
You are.
I have a concern. I was trying to get in it before the meeting is over. Edna Laurent. Hello?
Yes, Edna.
Yes, I have a great concern with the increased shooting of these automatic guns going off. Not only are they going off at night, they're also going off in the late afternoon between 2 and 5.
Chief Evans.
I'm here, and I was just trying to formulate my response to that. We are as equally as concerned as you are with gunfire all over the city. And the only thing that we can do when we hear gunfire is encourage people to call so that we get an accurate location of where it happens. I can tell you right now that we've had 40 people shot in the city of Gary, 10 people have lost their lives, and we've responded to 127 calls for service of shots fired in the city within this month. However, without an accurate system to measure where the gunshots are coming from, the way that dispatch sends us to respond to the gunfire is by the area that gets the most calls. If you hear gunshots outside of your home right now, you're not really sure of where that's coming from unless it's next door. And unfortunately, many people, out of very understandable fear, will not call if it's a neighbor or somebody on their block. They will not call us and let us know because they're scared of retaliation, which we understand. But if a number of people call us and give us an area or location, we can try to pinpoint where it is. And that is the only way we can do it. We used to have a system called ShotSpotter. Everybody's aware of it. That system was
Would it be helpful if we found a bullet shell or something? Would that help?
The only thing that a shell casing can help us do is match it to a gun. So shell casings don't have an ID like a fingerprint or DNA. The only way we can match that is if we recover the gun at the same time. And that doesn't necessarily tell us who fired it. Shell casings, when we do collect them, we do come out and get them because it actually helps us determine where the guns have been used in other areas. We actually work with the ATF to find out where those guns are fired through a system called IBIS. We actually test every one through the Lake County Crime Lab. But without the gun, we cannot say what that it really has no evidentiary value other than telling us where it was fired. Without the gun, shell casing and a gun together is how that works.
Well, thank you.
I have a question. Going back to the landfill again, in my alley, Councilman Williams and I, we talked about that last week. I just want to be assured that something is going to be done about that because again, it's been that way for years, and the waste is constantly being dumped in the alley. So I would really appreciate it if someone would come out and get that done as soon as possible.
Mr. Stone?
No, this is Miss West.
No, Miss West. I know you. I'm talking to Mrs. Stone from General Service.
Yeah.
Mrs. Stone.
Councilman Williams is taking down the request and the addresses. I do. We practice leadership in my department, ma'am, and we work as a team effort. And I do everything I can to be the lead in that. And what we'll do, Councilman Williams will give it to me, ma'am. I can't say that we're going to stop tomorrow without completing what we're doing right now. Alleys down on 7th and 8th in that area. But I can say I will be taking care of your request.
Okay,
so be
thank you.
patient with us, and we will be that way.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Also, I don't think we have any no dumping signs in the alley as well. Maybe that'll until we get some cameras.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Okay,
the no
so
dumping
that's
signs
44th
haven't
and
been working. I, I
Well,
don't
there's
mean to
nothing
say
there.
that. Because everywhere I go, ma'am, there's a no dumping sign. It's very disrespectful because I say we get it up and I can drive by there 5 to 3 days after we clean it all up, ma'am. And
Yes.
they will drop a mattress or a couch or some type of item at the no dumping sign. It's like
That's right.
just, you know,
Yeah,
just that
yeah.
quick.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
with the cameras, and I'm not talking about deer cameras, ma'am. I'm talking about the type of cameras that the chief is talking about. Some
Yes.
sufficient cameras where different services can control them.
Yes, yes, that's what I understand. One more thing, to get off the subject for a minute. What about cars that have been parked on the street without tags or flat tires, abandoned vehicles
Good question. Good
that have been
question.
sitting there for years?
Good question.
Keith? That's code enforcement and police department, ma'am.
So the code enforcement division comes out and tags vehicles that have been abandoned, and they forward that information to us to come tag them. But again, if you have an abandoned vehicle, we are a 24/7 service. If it's out there with no tags, which we will have to run, if it's blighted and abandoned with one or more flat tires, or bust out windows, or
Yes.
inoperable, the police department can come and tag it. We do tag vehicles to give the homeowner or the owner an opportunity to remove the vehicles, because when we don't, we always get complaints about it. So the city has gone to a stance of giving the opportunity at least 72 hours to come remove the vehicle. That's why you see the orange stickers on them. So either code enforcement can come do it if you contact them, but it's only for them. The police department is a 24/7 service. You can call about an abandoned vehicle and they should come tag it. And let me say this, those calls are not emergency calls for the police department, so they're assigned a lower priority. If someone doesn't come back and do that, please call back and ask for a supervisor. Treat the police department like you would a restaurant. If you received not so great service, ask for a supervisor if you don't get the service you want. But understand that the Gary Police Department answers about 5,000 calls for service a month. We are pretty busy with 150 officers, but we work 24/7. So call at 660-0000. Let them know exactly where the car is and what's wrong with it, and see if they come out. If they don't come out within that shift, call back and ask to speak to a supervisor, either by phone or have them come to your house and tell them what you're doing. And if you don't want to do that, which we understand, call my office at 219-881-1201 and ask to speak to the commander of uniform services, and he will take care. That's Commander Head, and he will take care of any patrol related issues. Treat us like you would any service.
That number again is
Can you repeat the number again?
219-881-1201.
Yes, ma'am. That's the number to the chief's office and the administrative division. The uniform service division commander is Commander Head, and he is a 6th district resident. He is just as concerned with these issues as you are.
Okay.
And he is doubly concerned about issues where we don't get out there. Oftentimes, like I said, the Gary Police Department answers 5,000 calls for service a month on average. We are a very busy service. So if you're calling about an abandoned car and we have a shooting going on, a robbery or something like that, it's going to be pushed back. I'm just going to be honest with you.
I
But
understand.
if we don't get to it within that shift, call back the next shift, give us another opportunity, give us another bite at the apple. If you don't get a response, then call the supervisor, call the chief's office and ask to speak to the commander. Treat us like you would any other service that you're paying for, because we work off your tax dollars.
So is this a good time to bring that up, Councilman Williams? I don't know if you came by or came through my neighborhood, 51st Place in Tennessee.
Go ahead, ma'am.
You had said you were going to drive by, so I was asking if you had come by.
Yes, I did.
So did you see the abandoned vans that one has a flat that looks like it's 2 work vans.
Yes.
And it looks like they ran into each other right here on 51st Place.
Yes.
And it's been there for quite a long time.
Code enforcement will be out there to tag those vehicles, and like the chief said, they got to tag it, and then I'll let you know once it's tagged, and if you can help me get a service order to get those vehicles out the way, I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Chief,
Councilman Williams.
Chief, I'm sorry, Chief,
Councilman Williams.
give me 1 second. Chief Evans? Chief,
He's muted.
he's muted. I'll catch up with Chief.
Councilman Williams.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Mr.
I'm
Hayes.
sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, Councilman Williams, this.
wait, Mr. Hayes, give me a second.
Okay.
Chief,
Yes.
the 2 abandoned vans on 51st Place, I'll have a code enforcement tag it. How soon do you think we can get those towed and out of the way?
Again, if they tag it, they have 72 hours to move it. That gives the homeowner or the owner of the vehicles an opportunity to correct the problem. And after 72 hours, not including weekends, we go out there and we get it. If you call the police department, 660-0000, an officer can go out there and tag it within this shift. But if you've given it to code enforcement, no matter what, they're going to have 72 hours to remove the vehicle. And then we go back out and we do what we tow again. And if we miss that, just call us. Just please give us an opportunity to get back to it. Like I said, we're a very busy service, not making excuses, but sometimes things get away from us. So no matter what, if it's tagged, they have 72 hours.
Ms. Carter? Ms. Carter?
She's muted.
She can still hear me. Ms. Carter?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, great. Again, I apologize also along with the chief. I don't know why the vehicles have been tagged, but they will be tagged by tomorrow. And within 72 hours, then we can get them towed.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Councilman Williams. Hi, this
Mr.
is
Hayes
West
was
again.
Mr. Hayes.
Mr. Hayes was next.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm
you.
getting back on the towed cars because we spoke last week and the cars have not been tagged since you and I spoke last week. So I'm just wondering what's going on.
By code enforcement.
Or
Ms. West.
on these cars, do I talk?
Okay, Ms. West, you dropped off.
Yes, I'm saying that
24th and Jefferson, correct?
Yeah. Yes, 44th and Jefferson Street. And the cars they have not been tagged. They're just still sitting.
Mr. Hayes?
Yeah, Councilman Williams, I just wanted to make a couple of short comments. Down on the block where I live at on 42nd and Tennessee Street, there's a pothole coming into the cul-de-sac. And if it lasts much longer, I won't be able to get home because there's no other way to get home. And it's growing bigger and bigger. By June, I won't be able to get home, and most of the people on the block won't. I admire your interest in trying to catch with that school corporation and their property. I misinformed you that they had cleaned up that parking lot in the back of Riley School. Still got the tires out there. And I don't understand why they want the referendum money and they're getting this other money. And it doesn't seem like they're going to do anything with their property. They should be able to put lights, cameras out there to spot people who dumping that over there. What happens to the wheel tax money? You know,
that money comes back
does that
into
money
this. Go ahead.
does it go back to does it go to general funds or it go to something that help fix up the streets or what?
General funds, yes.
But,
general funds. Yes.
Yeah, but see, that may be one of the problems. If it's just going to general funds, it's not going back to our wheel because we paying taxes for our wheels. But I thank you for being, you've been pretty good to me. You've been trying.
Mr. Hayes, what I would
sir.
do, I will, I've been trying to reach out to Paige McNulty. I will still continue my efforts to reach her. And you're right, you're absolutely right. The school with the referendum dollars that are coming our way and everything else, those schools that are left under the school's management, they do need cameras out there to help us and assist us with the dumping. So I will definitely discuss that with Ms. McNulty. And whatever is left behind on that property at Raleigh School, I'm gonna talk to her, have it picked up, the tires and everything else.
And that big hole, like I said, in the middle of 42nd Tennessee Street is getting bigger and bigger. They said that they was, I think they were fixing a pipeline or a water line or a sewer line, and some company dug it up and they didn't properly fix it. I do appreciate also, I'm gonna change it just a little bit, your comment at a meeting concerning Howell Park. I really appreciate you taking interest in that and trying to get that done for the children and the people in the community.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Can you repeat the address of the hole, the location, which street?
The pothole is on 42nd and Tennessee Street.
Councilman Williams?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The interim manager every Monday at Jay's Breakfast Club.
Okay.
And she's very approachable at that time.
What time?
Can't quote the time right now. It's in the morning.
Okay.
Councilman Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
What department, is there any department that's responsible for getting the couches out the alley?
Yes, ma'am. General Services. Mr. Stone is on right now.
Okay, Mr.
Can you give me your name? Because you're calling in. All I see is
My name is Nina McLean.
Nina.
Yes,
Last name?
McLean.
Okay. And the address for where you would like them to come.
Well, the cops was in back of 4630 Pierce. We tried to
In
keep
the alley?
the alley clean because the other end is so nasty and disgusting. So this is in our part of the clean.
You said the couch is in the alley?
Yes.
Ms. McLean,
Yes,
the couch is in the alley, correct?
correct.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
This is Mr. Stone. With the contract of Republic, they're supposed to get one bulk item a week, per week. If it's along by your garbage can or anything, they supposed to get one bulk item. But if they don't, you can put that down on our list. And the 42nd, I was listening to you and you were talking to the guy about the hole. He said that had been dug up with the rock and things. Yeah, it's a cul-de-sac. We wouldn't be able to just come out and cover what a contractor dug up. We would have to find out who dug it up and laid pipe or whatever they put in up under the infrastructure, because we could be, that is something they're supposed to build up along with the rock when they get through, and they're supposed to build it up and also top it to bring it up to level. You know, we would have to go through them before our department would be able to put anything over that, because that's something that has been repaired by a different department. And it should be them to take care of it.
Correct. Mr. Hayes, do you know who was working out there?
Yeah, I understand. I don't know who it was, but I do know that that it's sinking and it's sinking and it's sinking.
What year was it?
Last year.
2019?
2019. 2019. Last year, 2020.
2020.
It's 2020. And see, I don't know who did it, but what I'm saying is that in the meantime, I got to try to figure out a way to turn to get into my house, and most of the people in our cul-de-sac have to pass through that same way. It's no other way in.
Okay.
There's just
I'll
no other way in.
I'll have my legislative aide Sherry Smith call around and see if she can figure out who was doing the construction on that street around that time.
And
Okay, I
I'll
appreciate
also take a look at it tomorrow.
I
go ahead.
appreciate it. Thank you. I live right down the end
You're
of the
more than
block.
welcome.
Thank you, Ms.
You
Hayes.
can
Ms.
always talk to me.
Stone, what were you saying?
I will also take a look at it tomorrow, Councilman Williams. I'll have your list in the morning. So I'll take a hands-on look at that cul-de-sac hole that he just gave you, the address that you've written down.
Okay.
Councilman Williams, this is Mr. and Mrs. Hamlin. I'd like
Yes.
to ask you a question. Who do we need to speak with in order to get a speed sign or something put up on 47th Avenue? You know, we go across and keep the parkway cleaned up over by Lou Wallace by that fencing area.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you pass it all the time because you
I
live right
do.
on the same avenue that we live on. And we try to keep that clean. And today we almost got hit. We were trying to protect the area because they're speeding so fast down the avenue. So is there any way we can put a speed sign up or something to, you know, so they can see it, so the police stops so they can't say, you know, well, we didn't know that there was a speed limit.
Yes, ma'am, it is. I will, I just got the phone as I poured in to the home tonight, left a message for Public Works. Add this to that list, for email for them tonight as well.
Okay, great, thank you.
And Mr. Stone, concerning the couch, it's just one little garbage man by himself. So I don't think he can lift it by himself.
Am are your trash
So,
cans in the front of your house or in the back of the house where the couch is at?
In the back.
In the
we
back?
try to keep the end of the alley clean. Yes.
So Republic is now running the trucks. One person is usually two.
Oh,
But
okay.
we will, okay, it's one. But I'll be taking a look at that, ma'am, and addressing your request. And I'll get that couch removed.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm Minnie Johnson at 4352 Johnson Street. I'm on the west side. Okay, I've been trying to get NIPSCO to put the lights on.
Ms. Johnson, I'm
Yes.
I'm not a really good administrative assistant. I have your name. What's the address?
4352 Johnson Street.
Continue.
That's 43rd and Johnson, between 43rd and Johnson, 43rd and Grant, right there by the funeral home.
Okay.
It's so dark when you turn that corner, you can't see, you'll turn in the ditch. And I've been trying to get NIPSCO to come out there and put those lights up on 43rd and Grant and 43rd and Johnson, and they still haven't done anything. So is there anything we can do to force them to put those lights up there before somebody turn in that ditch?
Yes, give me 1 second. You said NIPSCO. The street is 43rd and what?
43rd and Grant,
Okay.
and then 43rd and Johnson.
I would talk to Ms. Barber tomorrow and see if we can do something about that. If not, your state senator, his name is Eddie Melton. He works for NIPSCO. I will get in touch with him, and you can leave a message for him as well and tell him you would like that problem corrected.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you all for cleaning up that alley. The alley looks much better, even though there's that house back there with all that junk in the yard. I don't know, like they cleaned out the house, or I don't know what they did. There's a whole bunch of stuff in that yard, in that alley, but I don't know what you could do about that.
I'm gonna advance this meeting for just 1 quick second. I'm working on another project. Our street lights, I mean stop lights. 45th and Harrison. Those lights will be repaired, so it will no longer be a 4-way stop. The lights will be working pretty soon, as well as on 45th and Grant. Those
Okay,
those will be working as well pretty soon. Are there
okay.
any other lights that you see within the district that are flashing, that are four-way stops that we need to revert back to regular stoplight?
Oh, they'll
Not
be,
that I can think of offhand.
Anybody else in the district? Have you noticed that?
look, are you saying they're going back to
That light
time,
right over there
time
by,
lights?
oh,
They're going back to time lights now instead of flashing lights?
Yeah,
Is that
we
what
need
you're
to go
saying?
back to that. We need to go
Okay.
back.
what about that light right on Georgia on 39th next to the Gary Community School Maintenance Building?
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
The thing is, I think that a lot of the lights, the way the lights are set for the city, with the four-way flashing, no one is stopping. So if we actually can get the lights working back to where you have the green, yellow, red stop, we probably can slow down some of the speeding. Chief, how do you feel about that? Chief Evans?
I agree with everything that was said here. We need to start with the signage, and then we can go from there. Some of the things that we have talked about doing from the police department to deal with the speeding all over the city is Operation Pullover, which will start in May, where we go out specifically to write tickets in certain areas, and that will be all over the city. I will say this though, ever since COVID started, I don't know if anyone else has noticed how everyone is driving very, very fast in the city. And with all the money, and I'm not being critical, that has been given out, if you've seen all the paper tags out here, with all the vehicles, you have a lot of drivers who are now driving again, who haven't driven in a very long time, and some of them are driving way too fast. So our Operation Pullover program will begin in May. We do a very big countywide blitz. It's always in the paper. We will start with that, but we actually need signage up so that we can actually give out the ticket to prove that that area that they violated the speed limit. Without that, we will lose it in court every time.
Oh, and
excuse me, one of the areas is this Cheryl Hadley 52nd and Van Buren place, and is our neighborhood here. Since our Tipperine Trails has turned into the projects now, we have speeding up and down this street all the time. And this is a residential area. It's very
I
bad.
concur.
They don't even
I can
stop at the
concur with
stop
her.
signs. They don't even stop at the stop signs. I mean, it's just bad. It really needs to be something done about Tipperine Trails. I mean, can we talk to the owners over there, because the neighborhood has really went down since they turned Tipperine Trails into Section 8.
Well, that is considered private property, and it is also located in Maryville. The area where you live at is Gary. Across the street is Maryville.
Okay, but they have to come through our neighborhood.
They
And they're
use
speeding and driving fast. Last year we had a problem with them selling drugs at that bus stop. And it would be, we talked about this last year. We need more police patrolling through this area. I very rarely see a Gary police car.
Councilman Williams and Chief Evans. This is Lauren Hamer, neighbor to Mrs. Hatley that just finished. If giving out tickets for speeding is a revenue producer for the city,
do it.
Then we can promise you that if we have regular patrols on our street, especially 52nd place between Harrison and down toward Madison. They use it as a throughway. It's one of the longest blocks that I've seen in the city. 52nd place between Harrison, West 52nd place between Harrison and Madison. In addition, if you just sit a squad car at the restaurant, I guess it's called Big George's or something. If you monitor between 47th Avenue on Harrison, as far as 53rd Avenue, northbound or southbound, I promised you your ticket writing levels will increase dramatically.
And that's
And
revenue.
to add to that, Lauren, where your street ends, which is Madison, at 52nd and Madison, they make a left turn there and they come down Madison Street. I'm at 51st and Madison. They never stop at this stop sign here.
Right.
This three-way stop sign, they never stop. And they're doing it at least 50 and 60 miles an hour coming down that street.
Yes.
So we really could use a patrol car, Chief Evans, in this area.
In this area. And I'm right here at 52nd place. They don't stop at this stop sign either.
We're just saying, if you have the ability to place a squad car just for the purpose of, I mean, I don't know, if you use speeding, you know,
that's revenue for the city.
You will, I'm telling you, it will dramatically increase because of the speeding. Whether they're going east or westbound on 52nd place between Harrison and Madison, and also down Madison to 51st, but also on Harrison. They have nothing. There's a stop sign at 55th and Harrison, and the next stop sign is at 49th. So between 55th and 49th at Harrison, whether it's north or southbound, it is a drag strip.
Yes, it is.
And I sit on the corner. I'm afraid of someone running into my house.
Yeah.
Councilman Williams.
What do you think about that, Chief Evans? Hello.
I heard everything you said. You ladies kind of talk one after another, so I didn't have a chance to respond.
Okay, got the floor.
But let me say this first. The ticket writing process is a deterrent for safety. I hear exactly what you're saying, but I want to say this publicly. We do not write tickets to generate revenue. We're taxpayer funded. We are a very busy police department, as I've stated on this call. We answer about 5,000 calls per month.
I mean, the city is in need of money. That's money for the city.
Ticket revenue does not go 100% toward the city. There's a split. Some of it goes toward the state, the county. We only receive about 25% of it. Again.
Well, some is better than none.
Yeah, I agree with you. But what I don't want to say here, and what will happen if we say that we're going to be collecting money off tickets, is someone will report that the city is going to generate revenue off ticket writers. The same thing that happened in Ferguson. But anyway, I hear the locations. I have them down. I wrote them down as you said them: 51st and Harrison, 52nd and Harrison, the Madison, Tiburon Trails on both sides. It's a drag strip, and I'm aware of the stop signs and people running them. And as I said, we have a lot of people that are driving very, very badly throughout the city and have been since the beginning of COVID. And again, since we have all these new drivers who now have all these cars because of the revenue that they have during this time of year. I do understand what you're saying, and we will do a traffic enforcement in that area.
And please do not forget about the east side of Broadway, please. On Georgia, at 47th, where Bailey School is. There is a blinking light. I don't know if that could be changed because it's right at Bailey.
Yes.
However, it's been blinking for years, and people just run through the stop sign. And so, of course, there are children when they get out of school walking, and people just run the stop sign. And also the stoplight at 49th in Georgia. It is blinking. It looks like somebody hit it at some point. So I don't know if it's actually even going to be repaired to work.
Well, I've requested lights to be put up downtown in front of a merchant's area that was hit by a car. It took some time, but the light is up. And actually, she needed the light because she's a new merchant. And at night, nothing illuminated on a restaurant so she could make money. And there's a parking lot there. So I was able to get that in place. So I definitely, all these lights I'm telling you about are public safety issues. So I definitely want to get them back in place. I don't think we should be a city blinking lights because no one is stopping. Right now,
Right.
everyone is just flying down the streets. And Georgia is one of my, so 49th and 39th in Georgia, there are lights there. We're going to see if we can get those controlled. Right?
Thank you.
You know, Councilman Williams, this is the Hammers again. You know, on 42nd Avenue, there is a sign that is supposed to be for the children to be able to cross. There's a yellow sign which lets you know that the students come across there to go down to the school to the academy, and they have to come across there. That's really dangerous because there's no stop sign or anything from Harrison to Broadway 47. That is a Indy 500, and too many times, you know, the children, we even come out of our home.
Actually, ma'am, it's an Indy 500 from the corner of Pierce.
Yeah.
I live up the corner of Pierce. I stand outside and I see people just.
They have a stop sign right at Harrison, but they even blow that and keep it on down to Broadway. But you know, we don't have any children that are in school. Our children are grown, grandchildren are grown, but these are someone else's children, and we're concerned for them.
Where's that location at again?
7th Avenue.
I know where on 47th, that which street.
To get to, so we'll come out the house many a time, and we'll escort the little children and let them know, you know, when to come across, when it's safe. And these people, they're crazy. They don't care about our children, you know, and they're not just Gary residents either. Trust me. Big old trucks coming by flying, you know, they have no regard to the citizens that are living in the community as well as our children that are crossing the street. And it's a dangerous situation. So maybe, I don't know, if you put a sign up, a speed limit sign, if the officer, Chief Evans can have the officer come at 7th and Monroe, they can jump out on them real fast. And just, maybe that would deter them next time. Let's keep our children safe.
I didn't get the street of where that you said where the sign should be located, or more emphasis on that sign.
No, what I'm saying is
47.
We live at 501 West 47th Avenue. We're right on the corner of 47th and Monroe, right across from Lou Wallace track field. So if it could be, you know, somewhere in that area, because I think that's halfway between Harrison and Broadway, at least I'll be able to see it. And they can think that was the speed limit sign, you know.
Councilman Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Simmons. I live at 104 Morningside. One suggestion, I'm showing the ability to be able to call in. I'm not doing Zoom, but I think that one person makes a comment, is there a way that you could have them not keep commenting so other people can get in? Also, at the corner of 45th and Broadway, where that gas station burned, there's a dumpster. There's a dumpster on that lot, and people keep piling stuff. And obviously, it's not being dumped since the gas station owners are gone. Is there any way that dumpster could get moved so they can piling it up?
I would take a look at it in the morning.
Okay. All right.
Is it it's on the side of the building?
Yeah. It's on the 45th Avenue side, and people just keep dumping, and the traffic there since that gas station closed is gone. And I am so happy because we used to hear gunshots and all kind of illicit traffic up and down, and that traffic is gone, but that dumpster's there. And,
go ahead.
And I don't want to be rude, but like when you're waiting to talk and then the same people keep speaking over and over, maybe you could say that once you make your comment, then let somebody else speak. You probably would get more response, broader response.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. The gas station on 45th and Broadway, I have been talking with Attorney Poe about that situation. We are trying to figure out how we can handle it.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to be reopening, but at the same time, we need to figure out how we're going to control it because the owners still have the property, so we can hold them accountable for anything or anything that's left on the property that's not by anyone. So that's what we're looking at trying to control.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a raised hand.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
As far as the speed bumps, instead of speed bumps, I've seen it in other cities where they have what they call speed strips, and it slows the traffic down. It actually makes the cars slow down. So that would be my suggestion as far as trying to slow any traffic down where they cannot, and they are not able to keep that speed up once those strips are there. Usually the strips are in about 4 different spots and it slows that car.
Ms. Brown, I've been in meetings related to placing speed bumps throughout the district. Chief, can you assist me with explaining how the speed bumps work as far as which streets can have them, which ones can't? Chief Evans?
Remember, my question is not dealing with speed bumps, it's dealing with speed strips.
I know, but Joe, I'm not sorry.
As Marinetta Barber, and I believe they had in that conversation by phone because of COVID, was the city engineer. What has to happen is, I think there's a process the city has for requesting speed bumps, and what they had stated is that they prefer to do the removable rubber speed bump, which they have to purchase, because during the time that the snow comes, those actual speed bumps can tear up the city snow plows. But that's actually not the police department's, that's not our realm. That's probably within, I don't know if it's general service or traffic division, but that's what I do know.
Ms. Brown, the speed strip that you're discussing, where you would like it at, give me the street. Ms. Brown?
Yes, what was your question?
Speed strip, you would like to see one placed in your neighborhood? What's the street?
So I'm saying in the areas, of course, Morningside, but in the areas where people are speeding and ignoring traffic, stop signs, if it was to place speed strips, they wouldn't have a choice, because usually the strips are about 4 different sections right before that stop sign, and it forces the car to slow down. I've seen it, it works.
Okay, I will have Rodney Polo on our next forum, so he can explain to us the type of speed bumps and arterial that we can have in our arterial areas. I think we may be able to get away with that on in Morningside because it's not a heavily driven area, but I know they're speeding in that area, so we may be able to get away with that. So I have have him on the next meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. The Glen Park Academy off of 49th. We are going to place speed bumps in that area. We can put speed bumps where there are schools, where there is like a long block of handicapped individuals. I think we can do that as well. So Rodney will be able to tell us in the next meeting where we can actually have those speed bumps placed, or the speed strips.
That might be a solution for our street.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but especially 53rd and right here, I don't know if they could do that for 52nd place, because the bus do ride go down 52nd place. Is that a possibility?
It can still be there. I mean, if it's okay by the attorney, and he says yes, that can take place, then yeah. I mean, a bus can go over speed bumps. It's fine. I've ridden buses in Chicago and gone over speed bumps.
Okay, that's great then. Something you can slow down.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
I used to be part of the speed bumps, the removable ones. We have some in Etna, off of 13th Avenue and Clay and Benton Street. And like Chief explained to you, we have to put them down, but also have to remove them before the winter time comes, because it tears up our trucks. But they also create more potholes too. Those ones that we put down, they're put in with large nails. They're like railroad tied spikes with a big, if you know what a nail looks like, it's a large one. And you hammer them down in the ground with the ones that you put down. So when you go to remove them, you bring them up with the hole where the nail was nailed down in the concrete. And then over time, when I go back and check, those small holes become larger holes, and they become more potholes.
Oh, wow.
Well, we can always look at the speed strips, because I think the speed strips can be permanent, correct?
Right. Yeah.
They have to come up as well, speed strips?
No, I've never put down speed strips, but I'm talking about the speed bumps, that the ones we put down and have to remove before the winter time.
Right, the temporary ones. I can see. Okay, I see where what you're saying, as far as it could cause more problems down the line.
Yeah, it does cause more problems down the line, because when I go back to take a look at the street where we took them up, the street has potholes in the area where we've been putting the speed bumps down over time.
Okay, okay. I will, Rodney Pohl, Attorney Pohl will be here in the meeting next week. I'll make sure of that. And we can all discuss speed strips and speed bumps within our community. And he can let us know where they can go and if it's possible. Okay.
All
right. Any other questions?
Are you asking about any other questions for potholes, speed strips, or something else? Because I have an item I'd like to bring to forefront. This happened today. This is Lauren Hamer. It happened today on my street. I happened to notice a white SUV parked in front of my home. And I didn't give it much attention, but my Ring doorbell alerted me to the fact that there was motion. So when I checked again, I saw what looked to be a Latina woman who was taking photos of my neighbor's house. So I was wondering, like, okay, what's that about? And ultimately, I sprung out of my door to ask her if I could ask why she was taking pictures of my neighborhood. And she said, well, I can't tell you because I'm being paid to do this. And I said, I'm sorry, what? And she said, I can't tell you because I'm getting paid to do this. And so I was like, okay. So I came back into my house because I had left out so quickly. I didn't take my cell phone with me to capture a picture of her car's license plate, because I was going to tell her I was taking that picture because I was getting paid to do that. So has anyone else experienced strangers being in your neighborhood taking photos? And before I could get back out to her, she had, she'd left. So I'm just putting that alert out there, but I will not go out again to ask the question without my cell phone so that I can take a picture. My Ring has her walking down the street and it has her vehicle, but I have yet to be able to see if it captured her license plate when she drove away because our meeting started.
Okay.
Very good conclusion that Councilman Williams, may I speak?
Well, I would say the next time you or if anyone is confronted with a situation like that, and I don't see any reason why you couldn't take a photo of the license plate. If the person is not really willing to discuss why they're taking photos, you can always take a picture of the license plate and turn it into the. All right.
That's my plan should it happen again. As I said, I left out so quickly that I left my cell phone in the house. So when I came back in to get it, and she had driven off. So I missed that opportunity. but trust me, I won't again. But I will check the my Ring video to see if it picked up her plate as she drove away from my home.
Okay. Okay. Real quick, I'm going to go through this list here. If you know what precinct you live in, I would tell you exactly how many homes. And Cedric, are you still on the call? Cedric? I don't know if he's still here. Cedric was kind enough to get this list to me. And we were able to filter through it and break it down. So G612, that is the Morningside area. Okay, you have the least abandoned properties so far in your area, which is only 14. G62. Is she still here? Ms. Carter?
That's me.
That's you, G62. There are 49 abandoned properties in your area.
Woo!
We could meet. I would like for you, I'm telling you this because I would like for you to, if you don't have a block club, and Ms. Blair, I commend you, and anyone else who has started a block club. We need block clubs because it is a lot of abandoned properties within our precincts. So, Ms. Carter, if you're willing to try to put together a block club and get some neighbors to help you out, just give me a call. Let me know. I'll get Olin Mays behind me, and we can make that happen because there are exactly 49 abandoned homes that. But the good thing about that, these 49 homes are about, they're on a list for demolition. So the numbers I'm giving you, these are homes that are actually on the list for demolition. All right.
Thank you.
Mary Williams is no longer in the meeting. She's the precinct committee person for G7. There's 48 in her area. Is Mary Feldman, are you still on there?
Yes,
Mary
I'm
Feldman,
here.
you still there? Okay.
Yes.
Within the
You
combined
gave me
precinct.
91.
Yeah.
91.
91.
Did you say 91?
91. G618, 91. G616, 126. We have a very large district, folks.
Councilman.
Very large district.
I'm
So
sorry, Councilman.
Yes.
So do we have a what do you call it? We don't have a crap.
Demolition?
No, a person.
Committee? Precinct committee.
Yeah, we don't have a precinct committee person?
Yes, ma'am. You stay in G62, right?
Yes, who is it?
William Jones. You see this? I'm gonna move over so you can see this. Maybe I may have to raise my laptop. Do you see this pink map right here above my head?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try this and I hope it works.
Councilman, is it possible that you?
That's not wait.
Why you giving the district, Councilman? Because you give the precinct amendment persons out. That's a good question.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, your precinct person is William Jones.
Is he on the call?
No, he's not.
Okay. All right.
But I will say this. I just dropped off the entire walking list for your precinct to because we were planning on this meeting to be your precinct, but there are 1,400 voters in your precinct. So I would like to try to reach out to all of them, not just because I want them to vote, but I would like to see the increase in our voting taking place throughout our district and the city, with everything, these atrocities that's taking place throughout the country, and they're killing our young Black men and killing brown people too. So we all need to get together and start voting a little bit stronger so we can get some things done. But there are 1,400 voters in your area. So I took the entire walking list to City Hall today. We have a new intern there. She's going to make sure and work with all the other aides that we get a mailing out to every voter on that list to be in this next Zoom meeting. So every precinct, we're doing it that way. At first, we just went with 400, then come back 400. This time, we're going to do the entire precinct. Okay.
Councilman Williams, what about Miss Edna Laurent's area? What's the number for her, the district number for her?
25.
25, okay.
25.
And what about our area G614?
That's 25.
25 abandoned homes?
25 homes that are up for demolition. That will
And
be
what
demoed.
about
You have 25 homes that have been identified that need demolition and require demolition. So those homes have been cited and reported. So we're working on getting those homes out of your community.
Well, I just added one. I hope it's on the list.
Who am I speaking to?
Sure, Hadley,
Okay, Ms.
the
Howard, what?
home that I gave you, 5249 Van Buren Street.
Okay, that's G62. That's the 49.
Okay.
Okay.
What about G6?
Wait a minute. I'm confused. I'm sorry. I
Wait a
thought we were G614.
No, I was talking to someone else who said they were G62, not you. What's your
Okay.
address, Lauren?
My address is 720 West 52nd Place.
Okay.
And according to my voter's registration, it showed G614.
You are 14. Yes, you are.
Okay, in 14, you said we have 25 abandoned properties?
That's what's listed, G614. But see, you got to realize, like I said at the beginning of the meeting, these are properties that we have been able to acquire. The city has, so that we can move ahead with demolition. The other properties that you see in your precinct, they're still owned by the primary homeowner. So again, that takes a lot of paperwork so that we can acquire that property and add it to this list. We have a lot of properties.
What am I?
What's your address? Your address?
4352 Johnson.
Sorry?
4352 Johnson Street.
East or west?
43. Huh?
You're on the west side.
West.
Yeah.
West.
Okay.
Yes.
You're in G612. You said 42? 42?
Yes.
G6, G612.
43, 40, 4352.
G612.
Okay, Councilman Williams.
How many houses?
14 listed. That's why I'm saying this, and I'm asking that I'm telling you how many abandoned properties that we are going, that the city's aware of, that we can demo. We're on the list for demo. I know there's more in your precincts. So this is why I'm reaching out to you and I'm saying, let's get some block clubs going so that we can identify more properties, so that we can add to this list, so we can make the neighborhood safer. We got to get rid of these properties. But if these property owners are not relinquishing their ownership, then we got to hit them where it hurts until we can get the property. The property has to become city owned before we can demolition it. We just can't take your house and say, you're not keeping up with it, so we're gonna knock it down. We can't do that. You
Hey,
turn around and sue us. Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to be polite, but I'm going to refer back to the other caller who says, is there any way where everyone on this call can be heard? Because I am G615. I think that's 4936 Massachusetts Street. And I want to know how many homes. I think that's G615.
There is no 15.
Pardon me? There's no 15?
What's the address?
4936 Massachusetts Street. This is Faye Barnes.
Yes, ma'am. You are part of G616, more than likely.
Oh, okay. You said how many homes in G?
You ready?
Yes.
126.
126? Gosh.
Yes, ma'am.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yes, ma'am. 126 homes, and I can see it too. I do drive through your neighborhood on a continuum, so I see a lot of homes, So the city has acquired 126 homes in your area, in your precinct alone, that need to be demoed.
One right next door.
Probably more.
That has been vacant for the last 6 or 7 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Where, people playing games with that property.
You know, it's unfortunate we get people that purchase property, they sit on it, because everybody knows that the city of Gary is going to come back one day, and they just sit on that property and just wait and wait, and it just makes the city, it tears down the vision of the city.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else that wants to know anything as far as with the Miss Dolores? You've been kind of quiet. You got to unmute yourself, Dolores.
I would like to know, how do you relinquish the ownership of property? My aunt died and I'm still getting tax notices for her property, and
Okay.
And I don't, and she's gone, my uncle's gone, my dad's gone. I don't want the property. How do I say, tell the city you're welcome to have the property? It's not mine.
I would start off with the city assessor's office, but we are very fortunate to have the Lake County assessor that reside within our 6th district. So I can give you her information as well. I'll give you her phone number if you're ready.
Yep.
Give me 1 second.
Oh.
The assessor. Okay, I don't have a office number for it, so I'd have to give you a cell phone number. Are you ready?
Okay.
219-670
Mm-hmm.
6082.
08.
And when you call her, please let her know that I gave you the number.
What's it?
And I plan on bringing her in hopefully next month in a meeting as well.
What's her name?
Anya Spearman.
And that's the best thing to do, isn't it? I mean, I've got property that I can barely take care of myself. I don't need other property that, and actually I think the property is gone. It's just the land that's left there. And I didn't know it was there till recently. So I might as well just give it to the city and the city can have more property to, I mean.
Is it in good condition?
Well, like I said, the property is gone. It's just the land. It's just
okay, so it's just
land.
a vacant lot.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Land is money. Why don't you sell a land?
Councilman Williams.
You can sell the lot, ma'am. You can sell the lot if you like to sell the lot.
Exactly. Land is always money. You don't just give away land. If you don't want it, I'll take it.
What's the address of the property, of the lot?
2141. It's not in 2141 Jefferson. It's not in our area.
Oh, it's not in the area. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to invite Ms. Spearman into our next meeting. She is our Lake County assessor. So you'll be able to talk to her about the property taxes and everything else, your concerns in next month's meeting. Okay.
Mr. Williams, I have a question for you.
Yes.
This girl Hadley. I've been to several meetings, and since the COVID, since we've been doing the Zooms, I've been on a few of the Zooms. And I noticed that it's always just you here. Have you guys ever thought about whoever represent a certain area? Just meet with those people with their concerns.
That's what we were doing. That's what we're doing. We're going precinct by precinct. And yeah.
Yeah, but it just seems like, you know, it's a lot on you. I don't see anyone else here, any of the other representatives.
You're discussing your precinct members.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, your precinct meeting.
Well, I can tell you that I am your precinct. I am your precinct committee person for G612. So that's why I take down a lot of notes. So anytime I have these meetings and G612 logs in.
I'm 614. Your mind's
all. What's 14?
No, Laura Edna is yours. She was on the Zoom earlier.
We didn't know it.
Edna Lauren.
I didn't know
I said the name backwards. Edna Lauren is your precinct person.
Right.
Okay, well, we didn't know that.
Right.
So I'm looking at.
I think it would be much more effective, you know, if the precinct, whoever represent whatever precinct, you know, have meetings with just them, like the other lady said. You know, everybody's trying to jump in and get their issues addressed. And I could see it being somewhat overwhelming for you. Everybody coming at you. But I think that person that represent that one precinct, everybody get together with their own precinct person, and then we could have a meeting with everyone. And you guys get together and discuss everything that the residents have presented to you, their own precinct person.
And you're absolutely right. That is proper chain of command. I do invite them. Some of them may be able to attend. They don't. But the bottom line is, whatever you present to them is going to come to me. and I appreciate your concern about everything being pushed towards my way. But
Yes.
it is going to come my way. So
Okay.
whether they log in or not, it's going to come my way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I just
And
ask that
I,
you continue to come to these Zoom meetings until we can get COVID under control and we can actually meet face to face and sit down and make a better plan amongst each other. Right now, we have to utilize Zoom. And again, yeah, the precinct person, once you give them something, it's going to come to me. That's why Ms. Brown, Patricia Brown, she calls me quite a bit. We talk a lot.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of other residents within G612, they call me quite a bit because it's my precinct, as well as I'm
Okay, you
council.
know what? Well, give me my precinct person name again and number
Give me
or
your address again.
email. What was it?
Give me your address again.
5246 Van Buren Street.
Laura Edna.
Laura.
I mean, Edna Lauren, yes.
Edna Laura.
Edna Lauren.
Laurent,
How do you spell the last name?
Laurant.
Wait a minute. LAU.
R. LANT.